Brodes Media.
You know what's phenomenal about winning a series? That means this Emilio cigar that is going to get absolutely puffed on in just about 30 minutes. Oh, it's going to be a ceremonial one, baby. A ceremonial one. And you must join me. Make sure you realize that there is only one cigar to smoke, and that's an Emilio cigar. New school roots, old school attitude. Locally owned, third generation, and made at the Fábrica Oveja Negra in Nicaragua. So this is as serious of a cigar you are going to find on planet Earth. And it's so damn delicious, it's not even funny. There will never be a cigar that I smoke again other than an Emilio cigar. And what I want you to do is go to your local tobacco shop and ask, hey, do you guys have some Emilio cigars? And they can help you out. And you can also check the link down below in the description to join the Emilio Cigar family. Of course, Emilio Cigar sponsors this podcast. And with that, enjoy the show. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Sports Talk with Brodes. Always a good feeling when you take two in Atlanta. I don't think the Braves are anywhere close to the squad that we are accustomed to watching over the last decade. Okay, so I don't know how good it is from a, hey, you beat a good baseball team view, but it's just a good view because I hate them. Not as much as I hate the Mets. The Mets are fucking embarrassing. The Mets suck. The Mets blow. They're getting swept by Pittsburgh and getting outscored 30-4. They're having team meetings that in their first inning after the team meeting, they're allowing crooked numbers on the box score. So holy hell is that abysmal for them. It's so beautiful from our view. And this is why I can't use them as a measuring stick, or the Braves, quite frankly, whenever you look at their record, because I am going to crush this baseball team. I am going to destroy them because their offense flat out sucks. They just went on 6 games away from CBP. They went 2-4. Their offense showed up one time in 6 games. And the time that it did, it was who? Edler? Come on, man. Stiff. Dude sniffing a 6 CRA. Guy's a bum. As soon as you see Strider, the offense looks different. When you see Hunter Brown, the offense looks different. When you see Framber Valdez, it looks a little bit different, doesn't it? I mean, I need to see this team legitimately compete against the star pitchers. And they are in a brutal funk. And Otto Kemp has to save the day on Sunday. So we can't be using the Mets or the Braves with any sort of bar. That's not the bar. The bar is to win a championship. It's to win a World Series. And I hope Dave Dombrowski knows it, because I don't know if he does. I keep hearing we can't waste this starting rotation. I just think you already set yourself up to fail because of the lack of moves in the offseason. Dave screwed this up then. Look at Max Kepler and Jordan Romano as the big acquisitions. Forget Luzardo for a second, who didn't look very sharp, having to throw basically 100 pitches in 5 innings, even though the damage wasn't that gross. It wasn't the peak that we need Jesus Luzardo to be at. Because if the offense is going to be this unbelievably poor, you win because of the pressure you put on Ranger to be Ranger. Did you see that Ranger where Matt Olson is screaming at the top of his lungs because he doesn't know what Ranger Suarez is doing? He's so confused. He's so lost. He just doesn't get it. Did he scream at the top of his lungs? No, not really. No. Did I stretch the truth? No, well, yeah, maybe. But that's the level you need Ranger and all your starting pitchers to be. And I don't know if that's sustainable. I do know it's not sustainable. That's way too much pressure. So it needs to be better. I can take the short-term look at it and just say, hey, I'm thankful that they won. But when you're begging Otto Kemp to come up large with the double and you're asking who else? Oh, you had the small ball. Little marshy action, small ball. That's not winning a World Series. It's just not winning a World Series. And losing baseball is 2 men on, second and third, no outs, and not being able to get insurance runs. Not being able to get separation. Instead, here comes Kerkering in the 8th and Strom in the 9th. Love the way that Rob Thompson managed the back end of that game. Strom got hit to the warning track a few times. If he's facing a different pocket in the order and he has to see the big guns, I don't know. Those pitches were hittable to me. If he's not facing the 8-hole hitter by the end and he's looking at the meat of the order, who knows? But think about extra bases in the 9th with JT behind the plate. The ball goes to the backstop on a walk. Now you're getting third base for free. This is what the baseball team is. So short term, only the standings as a takeaway and just happy they won. Yeah. Always good beating a division opponent, not named Miami and Nationals. That's an automatic. If you don't sweep those teams, then shame on you. But as dumpster fire as the Mets are, and with the Braves, I mean, beating them always hits different. You got to do it. Big picture, Now, maybe Bryce Harper returning is going to give this lineup extra punch. I sure hope so. But if his wrist starts to feel tight, if he's taking an off day to manage some things, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it just comes down to, can he tolerate a ton of pain or not? There have been times with the UCL tear where it didn't seem to limit him, which is absurd. This, though, I think this has been lingering for quite some time. It's been dating back to an entire season ago, and it's still making this strong of an impact on him. So, obviously, I am definitely panicking on a scale of 1 to 10, probably around 7. Because after a week, after 2 weeks, sore, inflammation, I'd be shocked and stunned if the answer is no. We're praying to the baseball gods. It was nice to know that the offense did respond right after Houston by in 3 innings already punching up 11 runs. But when you finish it out with 1 run on Saturday, 2 runs on Sunday, and JT, he can't hit with a 2-0 count. He can't hit with a 3-1 count. He can't hit with the most favorable counts for the damn hitter. It's so bad. My God, I know he fell off offensively. But this, there has to be a middle ground, dude. He used to hit well. It just went away that badly? This rough? Double play. Brutal, man. Roll over. Dude. We need you to show up with more toughness. There's times where I still get aggravated with Nick. Boom's getting mad. Here we go again. He's in a bit of a stretch. Here we go again. On Saturday, they had 4 hits total. And you knew Romano with that hanger of a pitch was getting taken. Sean Murphy with a fucking grand slam. Everybody and their mother who was sitting on the couch over the weekend late night, maybe stuffing their face with Ritas, or maybe going a little cherry water ice with the chunks in it too. It's a good move. It's a strong move. Give me the chunks with the lemon. Oh! Give me the chunks. We got 4 hits. Hey, JT. Yikes. Casty, none. Kepler, none. And the audacity of Max Kepler. How dare he get paid the amount of money he gets paid? And Dave Dombrowski signed him to that type of cash. And he's now aggravated because he said he was promised he'd start all. Hold on, dude. You're barely hitting 200. Shut your mouth. Who do you think you are? Take advantage of the limited time you have to prove that you deserve better. That's what it is. And good for Kemp, who's now applying even more pressure because when Bryce gets slotted back in, Kemp wants to play. Weston Wilson, guys like that, yeah, it is a smack in the face. Do fucking better. It's on you. Don't hit 210. Don't hit 204. Hit 250. Hit 260. Maybe be more with your power. Even though you have your moments, make it count more. That's how you get back at the organization. By shutting them up and proving that you are as good as you think you are. Here's the kicker. He's not. He's not. So Kemp, get on out there. He's not just giving them life with energy. You know what I mean? It's not just that. He's actually producing and helping them win. It should be a dose of reality on who this team is and where they are, if that's the case. But that is the case. So he deserves to be out there. You think Marsh is happy? No. You think Rojas is happy? No. Why don't one of them win the job? Because they're not taking advantage of when they do get run enough. And they're not as good as they think they are. Maybe look in the mirror. Kep, I'm sure Stott's not happy if he gets plugged out of the lineup, even if it's a Edmundo Sosa who has some respect in the room. Veteran, sort of nice off the bench piece. You think Stott, well, let's get back to it here. Why is it happening? Because Stott's not doing enough offensively, and he's probably not as good as he think he is. It's a common trend here. Realize it. It really does hurt, though, that we are talking this badly about Romano and with Kepler. That was Dave Dombrowski's big sell to us. Don't be fooled. It wasn't just Jesus Luzardo, who isn't as consistent as he needs to be. His highs are high, but, it definitely is sporadic. So while I still like him, and I hope we can lock it down where he can be more consistent, because then, yeah, of course, he'll be outrageous. He'll be Ranger Suarez-like. What Ranger did today was ew. What Ranger did today was out of this world sickening. And every day now at the office, he clocks in 7 2/3, 7 1/3, 8 innings, 7 innings. I don't know if it was any of them or 8. What do you got there? I was in flow. I'm projecting it's going to be 8, but 7 1/3, 7. This guy's going 7. Whew. But with the other guys, Luzardo, Romano needs to be rebuilt. And we don't really have the luxury of a lot of bodies to be able to go through. Hey, all right, let's get his feelings back to being better. Let's try and compliment him so he can find his confidence. That takes a long time sometimes with these cats. And I don't think Romano understands at all where he is. I don't think he's got a set. I think he's spiraling. You could tell by the way he reacted to that hanging pitch where he slumped over in defeat the second the barrel made contact. That's how badly it hurt. That's how badly he knew. That thing was a rocket. Right after the damn graphic of not having a grand slam if you're the Braves this season. What do you know? Perfect damn timing. Romano. So right now he should be in mop-up duties. Fifth inning, out-of-hand game. He should be in stuff that we saw on Friday night where you essentially punt the game if you're Atlanta. So Trey can get another home run and add it to the stat sheet. Ay. Let me tell you something. So what now? What now when San Diego comes to town? What team do we get? Do we get the out of 6 games on the road away from Citizens Bank Park, their offense showed up one day and then against better starting pitching? Woof. Or, well, is it just going to magically snap? Where for a few nights The weather's perfect. The ball flies, and you can take advantage of it. I was over my aunt's house. My brother-in-law said something to me when I threw the Phillies game on at 1:30, and he said, "What do you think about the Phillies today? How do you think they're going to do?" And I hit him with the only thing I know what to say right now whenever someone stops me and wants to talk fightings. I don't know what I'm getting each day. It just depends on if the bats are there. That's it. I don't think we have to overcomplicate when we discuss this team. They have great starting pitching, and it just depends if their offense will thrive. It just depends if it's one of those days. You literally have to flip a coin every single day. It's not a sustainable way of living life, but I think that's why they tried to shop Bohm. Because they knew that they needed to create a different brand. That's why I think Kyle's going. And as much as I love Kyle, and I'm talking about at the end of the year, but sometimes talking about this team naturally gets me to next season type of discussions, which is shitty, and it's sucky, and it pisses me off. But that's how flawed I think this team is it's not about can they win a World Series, even if they make some moves and additions at the deadline. It's too flawed. It's too flawed. It's too flawed. So this is what I would do. And seriously, I am pissed that this is something that I'm even mentioning, right? I can't even get it out. All right, I'm that angry. I'm that upset with myself. I don't even want to get it out. Trade Nick with 1 year left on his deal. Kyle leaves. JT leaves. Trade Bohm. That would be serious change. That would be culture-changing change. That is where we're at. That is where we're at. We can rock this step, and it would be organizational malpractice to not re-sign Ranger Suarez. Even with the innings pitch stuff, even with the dead arm, the back, whatever is going to go down after he eats 150 innings or whatnot, this guy is just out of this world. You know, I don't know what else to say. He really is. It would be organizational malpractice to not get something for him, and you're not going to trade him. I'm not allocating for that by any means. I don't want that to happen by any means. I want them to sign Ranger Suarez because this type of starting pitching, you don't let out of your organization when he hits free agency. You just don't. This is someone that helps create your staff for a long period of time. Ranger, you sign him, you trade him. Those are your two options. So figure it out, Dave, because it would be organizational malpractice to do anything other than that, would it not? Just from the standard of this guy is really good. He's going to get a lot of money in free agency. A team would be starving to get their hands on him, have him inside the organization for a playoff run, and to start the negotiations to get him locked up for a long-term deal and to sign him up. You could get a nice return. Or you make sure that he's happy and willing to stay here. John Middleton opens up the checkbook even more. One of the two needs to be the answer here. There is no other answer than that. You either maximize his greatness in a Phillies uniform, or you maximize his greatness by getting others who will eventually compete in a Phillies uniform. So I hope they're calculating this the right way, because that's a big deal. You can survive without Kyle. You can survive without JT. And truth be told, we've tried it with them. Part of the reason why this offense is crappy, and I love Kyle to death. I really do. He does have the boomer bust attitude. He does have the boomer bust streaks. It's the perfect description of the problem with the Phillies as a whole. Not putting all the blame on him by any means. He's one that I blame less than others by a large margin. But that's where the contracts are. And that's what you'd have to do. You can survive that. And quite frankly, you can't win with them. I've seen it enough. Rangers a different story. With how he's pitching now, this is what the moment tells me. that when he is locked on, yeah, this is different. This is different. Right now, he's your 2. And it's funny because every week I say, well, Sanchez is this, and Luzardo is this, and Rangers this, and I give them all their numbers. Every week, those 3 are dancing around and bouncing around, which is good and bad. It means some are leaking oil. Now they pick it up eventually, but then they leak oil again. And there's not as much consistency as we would like. With Ranger, there is. But as a staff, anything after Zach Wheeler, I think every single 7 or 8 games, you can play the game where you rank them and you'll get a different ranking each time. So at that point, when it's October and you have to add to your bullpen, you did what you did at the deadline. You're putting in more bodies as much as you can in the pen and just loading it up, if you will. It just comes down to where the order is at that particular time. It's going to change probably 3 or 4 times until we get there. It's just the timing of it. And then you better pray the timing of the offense is the rare offense. I'll tell you what's rare. Having lawn as beautiful as mine. And why is that? Well, I went to the experts. It's not rare if you talk to Green Lawn Fertilizing, though. All you got to do is go to the ones that understand everything when it comes to lawns. Everything to help recover your lawns if you weren't paying attention like myself when I first became a homeowner. It's that simple. But I look around my neighborhood when I'm walking the dog and when I'm taking Brooklyn around and I go, not talking to Green Lawn Fertilizer, not talking to Green Lawn Fertilizer, idiots. Don't be like them. Green Lawn Fertilizing. They changed my life. My lawn went from, ew, disgusting. This person doesn't take care of his home, to, oh my gosh. You may have the most electric green grass that my eyes have ever seen. And what if I told you Green Lawn Fertilizing is giving you 20% off your first 2 treatments? That's right, 20% off. All you have to do is check out. Oh, did I just say 20? Dumbass. 50%. That would be 50% off your first 2 treatments. 50% off your first 2 treatments. Check out the link down below in the description. Do not be a fool. Get started today. All right. Yeah, I think I pretty much summed everything up on my end. Let's go to the calls. Let's talk to the people. Let's go to the Anytime Hotline calls.
Brodes, long-time listener, first-time caller. I swear to God, if I have to watch JT freaking Realmuto roll another ball over to shortstop one more freaking time, I'm going to lose my mind. Holy Christ, make a freaking adjustment. That's all.
I just think he's cooked, man. I really do. I just think that this is normally what we're going to get at this particular time, just because he's played a lot of ball, he's caught a lot of innings, and as much as we love to think there are some athletes that can expand their career due to their physicality and athleticism, that maybe it would be JT, and I do think that he can to the best of anybody's ability, but Father Time always does win, and I don't know if he's got adjustments left in him. You know, I just don't. I don't know if he's quick enough to the ball anymore. I don't know about his swing. I just don't know if he has the mechanic side of it to be able to hit and square up Major League Baseball pitching the way he once did. I don't think it has anything to do to getting back in the lab and processing pitches differently. I just don't know if he has the speed to do what he used to do. It's a shame. It's a shame. But you can see the decline big time. And he gave us a tiny, tiny reboot just a little bit ago. But now we're back to the frustrating times. Now we're back to the consistent, dreadful, you got to be kidding me type stuff. I'm very angry with this team for their approach over this road trip. I just think they went back to who they were a lot of times. And that makes sense, right? Because how many times have we wondered if they can figure out something new. And then we go into all right, well, Nick has always swung at the first pitch. He's never going to change. That's who he is. This is what Kyle has known his whole life. Yeah, it's not 250 bombs. It's more like 240 and less amount of bombs. So he figured something out to some degree compared to his first run here in Philly. But this team, they took fun out of the season for me. Because even things like this, you'd think I'd be really pumped up about Ranger, but they may be fucking up the whole how we're going to handle Ranger Suarez at the end of this year thing, and Bryce's injury, and their offense. Oh, my God. Now, let me ask you if this is fair. Is their offense just this, and we have to accept it? Or is there more to it? And that's why we are pissed, is because we think they have a different level in them and a different gear in them, and they're not living up to that gear. Because if I'm now going to study the decline of JT, well, that's part of this. When you're running out Kemp and JT at this age, and when you're, not that Kemp's been bad, but you look at half the lineup sometimes, and it's Buddy Kennedy, it's Weston Wilson, it's Johan Rojas with the game on the line, swinging at pitches in favorable counts that are in the dirt or off the plate by thousands and thousands of feet. That stuff doesn't fly. When you have four of them in your lineup, this is what it's supposed to be. So how do you accept that? And I guess that's fair. What really irks me the most is Dave Dombrowski's roster construction. That is really what's on display more than anything. I think that's why I'm the most angry. The most. That was me sort of having chills run down my spine. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your podcasting platforms, you wouldn't see me physically do that. You can over on YouTube. But I am on all podcasting platforms. Just search Brodes Media, leave a 5-star rating and a review. That would mean the absolute world to me. All right. Lost my train of thought. So perfect time to go to Malcolm in Georgia, who called. This was after Friday night's beatdown.
Hey, Brodes, Malcolm in Georgia. So this is why I wasn't too bent out of shape about that Houston series. Because it's just the way the Phillies are. You know, the way they showed up tonight in Atlanta and their bats were alive. I just knew when I came back and I decided I was going to watch the regular season.
Oh.
Because of the starting pitchers, that this Philly offense, it's the same as it was for the last 3 years. Nothing changed, so nothing is going to get different. We're just going to have our ups and downs. And I think it should be pointed out that Houston only scored 5 runs. Our 3 starters only gave up 3 runs. Each of them gave up a run. And when you think about it, Houston scored only 5 runs, but all we were talking about was how good our starters were. So therefore, you kind of have to give it up for Houston starters, wouldn't you say?
Well, listen, I know that Hunter Brown is nasty. We know about Valdez. We know guys are good there. You know, I don't think the second game was anything special. But when I watch that, 2 things. Your offense has to hit good pitching. It has to. If it can't, then you're not going to win. Even if you have good pitching, too. You must do a better job against good starting pitching, because that's what it's going to take to win a World Series. So you must. And I don't want to give all the credit to their pitching. I just don't. I don't think that's fair to the inconsistent offense. I want to make sure the offense is held accountable. That stuff that we watched, Nick Castellanos' final swing, no. You can point out all the stats for Houston, but I'm watching through the lens of Philadelphia Phillies baseball and what their offense needs to do if they are going to prove to me that they can hoist the trophy at the end of the year. If it could be October, late October, and they're the ones jumping up and down and having a huge pile at shortstop. And you don't want to be on the bottom of those. Oh, my God, I'd be freaking the fuck out. I would take it for what it means in the long run. I'm a damn champion. But imagine being on the bottom of that. Oof, I'll let everybody else go and just do a belly flop late and get up quickly because I won't want anybody to do the opposite and hold on for, minutes. And then the person at the bottom is struggling. Oh, my God. Oh! Feeling it now. Ooh. Let's go back to the phones.
I don't know what Max Kepler is thinking by making that comment about not playing every day. I mean, he has not been a good enough ball player to justify playing every single day for this team. The only reason I even say he's still on the team is because he does actually provide some clutch home runs every once in a while. But it hasn't been enough for the $10 million we signed him to. And just the fact that you're sitting there complaining, like, Stott and Marsh are both been promised for years by this franchise for everyday roles, playing every day. And it never has happened. And you don't hear them say anything because they put their head down and they know what's best for the team.
Now, I brought those two up specifically earlier in the show. I don't know if Marsh was Marsh promised everyday stuff? Stop probably, but I don't know. Promised is I think maybe he was expected to, but I don't know if promised. And I don't know. With Marsh, was he promised in the Logio Hoppy deal that was his space? He doesn't act like it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can buy into that.
The Phillies bench has been awful since we traded Veerling away. And if Kepler can actually accept his role, put his head down, and actually work on hitting better than 209, then maybe he could probably be a postseason hero that this team has been dying for.
I think Veerling stinks too. I'll be honest with you. I don't think they had good guys coming off the bench and saying Max Kepler or Matt Veerling in the next sentence. In the same sentence. Whatever. Grammar sucks. Matt Veerling not good is the moral of the story. But I am angry with Kepler. Yeah, I don't get it. Now, I actually saw someone take the other side and defend Kepler, saying if you sign him to $10 million, that means you wanted him to take that job, right? The payment screams that Max Kepler is not wrong here. Well, then why is Weston Wilson getting thrown in? Why are these guys getting thrown in? Weston Wilson? No. Otto Kemp has earned this. That's disrespectful when you start going Weston Wilson. And to a minor degree, I understand where they're coming from. But this is the Kepler issue. You really can't assume with the way that your career has gone to this point that you're an everyday guy. You've had plenty of time to show who you are in this league. We know who you are. Now, Dave miscalculated. But just because something happened where it got miscalculated doesn't mean I'm just going to bang my head against the wall and keep using the wrong formula. That would be my message to him. And if I'm him, I'm saying, yeah, well, look what we got out there now. I ain't doing much. But now that Kemper's here and Bryce has to get slotted back in, it's a whole different world. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Don't even know what I was just talking about for 30 minutes. Hope it made sense. It's Brodes. I'm out of here. I love you. I'll talk to you all on the next one.